Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Dahlia Cylindrical Table Lamp. This is the 272104. There's also other Dahlia fixtures in the line. Check them all out. In addition to this, there's another Dahlia table lamp that I think would work great with this in the same room. You'll see them under our table lamp section. So, Dahlias have a lot of beautiful forging on them, a lot of hand forging on them. This is no exception to that. This is 18.1 inches tall, and that's going to be from the table to the top of the glass. The diameter of it is it's actually 8.9 by 7, so it's not a complete circle, and that's because of these forging petals that are coming out. The base on it is coming in at 6.5. The bottom of this has little feet on it. You can see them right there, and they have little pads on the bottom, so they're going to protect your table. Little details like that. And why don't we turn it on really quick? So we'll turn it on, check it out together. Okay, so it's using Hubbardton Forge's opal glass. That's their white glass. It's opaque, and we can take this off. So we'll take that off. The glass just slips right down. So the top of this is going to be closed, so it's going to just throw a beautiful muted light all over the place. The bottom is open, obviously. It sits right inside a little channel on the bottom of this. So we can put this down for a second. This is coming in at 10 pounds, so it's pretty substantial. Your cat most likely is not going to knock this over. That glass is 16.75 inches tall. The diameter is coming in about 5.3, which means it can accommodate a large bulb, and we'll get into that in just a second. So, when they're talking about what you can use in this as far as lamping goes, they're going to be talking about a medium base socket to begin with, and that's just a standard socket, screw-in bulb. We all grew up with these, very easy. The bulbs you can get everywhere. We'll talk about that in a second. If you want to stick with an incandescent, you can go up to 60 watts for an incandescent bulb. It's going to be an A19 most likely, like this little guy here. And that's an A19 size light bulb. That's an LED actually. But that's for incandescent. If you want to go LED, you can put in whatever you can physically get in that glass. It's not about wattage. These barely produce any heat, so you don't have to worry about that part of it. I can find an A19 bulb, this guy right here. Actually, there's two of them. So this is a phosphorus one. Those are the clearer ones that have the little phosphorus inlays inside. And then that's a standard LED that's out there that we all grew up with as well, because they've been around a long time now. So this is an A19 size. I can find these 60 watt equivalent, 75 watt equivalent. I might be able to find this as a 100 watt equivalent if I look hard enough, but an easier way to go would be just picking up a 100 watt equivalent, right? So this is an A20. An A20 is just a little bit bigger. See the difference in the size? And a lot more lines inside this too, those phosphorus lines. So this is a 100 watt equivalent one I picked up in a 4-pack at Home Depot. Very inexpensive, dimmable, color I liked, all the details there. This is an A21. This will fit in there as well. This is a 200 watt equivalent bulb. I don't think you're going to need it, but it's there if you do want it. So don't think you're not going to get a lot of light out of this. This light can basically light an entire room. Okay. A couple other little things we'll talk about is going to be the switch on this. So it's going to be using a clear cord. Okay, it's got obviously your silver wires inside it. The on-off switch on this is basically an inline switch. It's straight on-off. There's no dimmer switch associated with the fixture itself. You can, if you want, pick up what's called an inline dimmer. And inline dimmers are basically the same kind of idea. You would plug this into the inline dimmer and use that as your main on-off dimmer switch for this lamp. I'll put a little link to one like at an Ace Hardware or Home Depot or whatever on our site under the description of this, so you'll be able to check them out and see what they're like. But you can pick them up online. They're very cheap. You can pick them up at Home Depot or Lowe's or Ace Hardware or any of those places if you want to. So the color of the light coming out of these LEDs, we always talk about it in terms of Kelvin. So 2700 Kelvin is going to be offered to you. That's going to be a super yellow light, like a setting sun. They're also going to offer this to you in something called daylight. Daylight sounds like it should be warm. It's not warm. That's a bluish white light like a hospital waiting room, and that's going to be 4,000, 5,000 on the Kelvin scale. What we like to use is this. Warm white, soft white, mimics an incandescent bulb we all grew up with. That's the light that's coming down on us from these LEDs above. That's going to be 3,000 Kelvin, so that's what I like to use, but it's really up to you. And again, they're all easy to get. There's no big difference in price between any of those things. So the important thing is if you want to use just the switch that's on this, it doesn't matter if it's a dimmable bulb. Most of them are dimmable anyway. But if you're going to be using that dimmer switch I talked about a minute ago, just make sure that your bulb is in the color temperature that you're looking for and is dimmable. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear, then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this. The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you are on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over in the red tabs with the pictures in them over there. You're going to see a Finishes Help Guide tab. Open that up for me. It's going to be a video there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a chart just down below. So scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a chart. You can click on that chart. So you can click on dark smoke. You can click on soft gold. Doesn't matter. Big page will pop up showing you lots of different things in that finish. You can go back to the chart and you'll notice there's letters A's on them, letter B's on some of those things, and that's going to be showing you this range of variants that you can expect to see on different translucent finishes, but I'll talk about all of that in the video, okay? Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. In those same red tabs, you're going to see a What's on Display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.